Hello, everyone. It's us. We're back. It feels like it's been ages, but we are back. Me and the main man, Peter. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good, thanks, mate. Yeah, it does seem like a while. Um, we're on our monthly schedule at the moment for the next couple of months. We're actually, obviously, officially in Chinese New Year now for the next couple of weeks. Things have gone a little bit quiet, but I think, come March time, there's always a bit of a mad. Once they come out of New Year, there'll be a massive kind of wave of figures, I think, coming out. So
Yeah.
we'll gradually get back to our 2 week once we've got more stuff. It's funny because, like, I don't know if you watch Small Talk and they were on there saying that we're not on every other week, and saying that it's lack of material. And Eddie's like, there's so much to talk about in 1/6. I was thinking, yeah, if you're into that InArt Joker, yeah, there's loads to talk about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
apart from that, I mean, we got Han, a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah.
But I
That's
don't
the
have any
thing,
interest in that. We've got he's on the show sheet,
no.
and we'll talk about him. But I have no interest in spending £1,500 on 4 Joker figures.
If I'm honest, I'm getting really bored with InArt.
Mm,
Because it's how many versions of the Joker the one
Yeah.
company need. Like, and
But
it
it's
just
all-
feels like they're doing everything that's been out for God knows how long.
and it's
anyway,
also it's just putting everything behind a paywall, because even the
Yeah.
cheaper one, you've got to buy 2 of them,
Yeah,
and it's
bullshit.
still probably 800-900 quid.
Tis rhubarb, mate. Tis
yeah.
rhubarb.
Yeah.
Absolute bollocks. But yeah. But
Cool.
anyway, we get on to how much bollocks that is
Welcome.
later on.
Yeah.
So show us what you got, Pete. What you picked up.
Yeah. So I don't know if it looks really blurry on the main screen. It's fine in
Yeah,
the.
I'm not sure why.
It's fine in the slides. There we go. Is that a bit
Oh,
better?
there you go. There we go.
It's maybe because I minimised it, which is weird because it shouldn't make any difference. But there we go. So I was talking to we were talking about this because I've always fancied having. I've always really liked the look of General Veers when he's commanding the AT-ATs when they're attacking Echo Base, and nobody's ever gone near it. I don't think the Sideshow even made. Essentially, right. So this is essentially he's wearing the in the movie he's wearing like the grey officer suit, the same as Tarkin wears, and he's just got the armor plate, the belt, and the helmet. Obviously, the issue with getting hold of that suit is that the only one that Hot Toys have ever made is Tarkin, and that's not a figure that you pick up for a few quid. That still goes for ridiculous money. Sideshow did some, but I haven't managed to find any of those obviously in the right colour. So I thought, okay, well, what can I? I'm not overly bothered about that. I just want the look. So I picked up the helmet. Is the D'Agostini helmet collection, because I'd bought a couple recently. I bought the Hoth Rebel Soldier one that I've put on my custom Han Hoth, so that's good. And then I thought, I'll pick one of these up. So it's like they're like £5. It's the ATST pilot helmet, but it's basically the same thing. So yeah, sort of dremeled out the top, so it's just empty in there. Then I picked up a transport trooper, Hot Toys, 120 quid.
They're so
brand
cheap,
new. They're so cheap. So basically he's wearing, so the trousers aren't from there. They're just ones I had. But the jacket, the boots, the armor, the chest armor is from that figure, but I've painted on some details. So I painted on his pips and his, put a bit of colour on the armor there. Made the belt, or made the buckle kind of thing. And then the head sculpt's just my usual go-to. Is just a DID officer. One day there might be a Veers one, and I think somebody's done a custom one, so maybe I'll track one down. But there isn't a Julian Glover sculpt for anything, not for Indy or Star Wars or anything. So I just kind of went with a sort of generic looking, German sort of German looking officer. So so bashed him together, and quite happy with him. Really, I think
Yeah, it looks
it's
really good.
yeah, it's always a look that I've liked, and it's kind of probably the one look that I haven't got representation of in my collection. So and I just really love that helmet. I think it's cool. I mean, it's it's massive, like a lot of the Imperial helmets and stuff, but I really like it. So yeah, I've just got to find somewhere to shoehorn him into the Empire display now.
Wedge him in.
Yeah, but it was good fun working on him. And I suppose in all probably cost me about 150. Which I'm quite happy with that. That sounds like a lot, but in this day and age, that's not bad at all.
Considering you managed to buy a whole complete figure in that as well.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
Not bad.
And then I sold off the helmet, the shoulder pauldrons, the upper arm guards, and the leg guards for 40 quid. So nice. So actually, it probably cost me just over 100. So even better. Cool. So yeah, that was good. That was good fun. It's been a while since I've kind of kit bashed a figure, so I enjoyed that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's nice.
It is nice.
I've had it with mine where like I've remembered what I liked about.
It's like the good old days. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a bit of nostalgia. That's what I like.
Yeah. So, Mr. Massage says, General Veers by Hot Toys would be absolutely epic. It would. Jazzing and make an AT-AT cockpit. Yeah, brilliant. And it's like I always want them. We need a Hot Toys AT-AT trooper and the TIE fighter pilot, but still they've not gone there. And I think Veers would sell quite well because he's quite a popular character. But and you've got a great figure this week or this month. I put for this.
Yes, all my pre-orders from what feels like ages ago have actually started to come in, which has been nice. So I was on the fence for this one whether or not I was going to keep it because it doesn't really fit in with anything. But for years, like when I very first got into 6 scale, I was like, I want a battle damage T800. I want one. And they were always, when I first got into it, they weren't that expensive. But I never picked one up, and then it got to the point where they were so fucking expensive that I was like, no. And then it got to the point where they were so expensive and so old that I was like, I'm not going to spend that sort of money for something where the pleather's going to fall apart and it's just not gonna be a great time. And then Present Toys announced their version. It was a bit of a bait and switch with the head sculpt. The head sculpt that they showed was almost a scaled down Enterbait one, which looked fantastic. But even when I saw this in hand, I was like, okay, it's not the same sculpt, but I can clearly tell who it is. I don't think it's as bad as everyone's going on about. So I opened it up and was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I like this. This is nice. But instantly, like, I was like, I remember what I like about 6 scale is that I can start to tinker, and that's when I was like, right,
and especially this one, it's right for.
It needs to be fully weathered. The blood effects need to be redone. Because the cutouts on it were very much cutouts. Like it looked like someone had gone there with scissors. They were very precise. Yeah. And I was like, no, that's bullshit. I'm not doing that. So I fixed all of that and then redid all the blood work. And then someone's actually sent me theirs to do. So you can kind of see that's what it's like before. So you've kind of got there's one tone to the blood. That's it.
Yeah, just really flat,
yeah, super flat. And I was like, no, like he's had his kneecap blown off. There's going to be a fair bit of claret there, and then that big hole in his chest. I was like, that's going to leave a bit of a mark. So I went at it with the weathering powders and redid all the blood work, and now I've got a T800 that I really like. There's a few bits in it that they've done that I think are genius. Like they've made all of the grenade shells die cast.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, does it
good.
Make it overly heavy or?
No, people say it does. Yes, that is what people also say about Trevor. I'm joking. Yeah, he does that plunked out chest bit. Cheek does look like that. but yeah, the die cast on it is really good. There's a few bits in there I don't like. I'm never going to use the minigun because this is how I want him with the arm blown off and a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
So the minigun is just going to sit on the giant stand. Like when
it is,
people
isn't
said
it?
this,
What's going on there? It's like a quarter scale stand.
The stand is fucking massive. I really like it, but it's so impractical because it won't fit in there. Yeah, it won't fit in the display case because I've got quite a bit in there now.
Yeah,
but and then I think I ran a bit of I did a dry brush over like all the weapons because they were like super shiny and like they weren't beat up enough.
Yeah, how are the clothes? How's the leather? Is it
lovely? Like really nice. Really, really nice. Proper leather, which made weathering it a piece of piss as well because it doesn't like separate like pleather does.
Oh, absolutely. And you get 2 jackets with this, don't you? Because you get one that's not damaged, so, and you know.
I've kind of got where is it? I've got it up here. Like I've now got this jacket, and I'm like, I'm never gonna do anything with it because that's the look I want. But that's what I mean about the cutouts. Like you can see that where my thumb is. Like it's very, very, very just too neat to be battle damage.
Yeah. Have you done anything? Because I noticed the bullet holes were like very like perfect circles. Have you sort of jagged those up a bit as well?
I've jagged them up a little bit, and what I've done is I've got the blood effect dripping out of them. The flash on this kind of you can't really see it.
Yeah,
but
it kind of breaks it up a little bit so they don't look quite so.
Got him there. I don't know if you can see it on there, but he's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's better, and I think because you've got the blood, it breaks that outline up a bit, so it's not like a perfect circle. You know, they've gone in it with like a hole punch.
And then you've got bits there where there's just like perfect skin underneath. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck's cut him that's not cut the skin? So it didn't make sense. But yeah, and then it's just stuff like they've got all the bullet holes on the neck, and then it's making sure that the blood comes down onto the clothing. But yeah, I think it's a fucking fantastic.
I think it's great. I mean, from what I've seen, I think it's a very good figure out of the box, but just with a little bit of work, it looks great. And I don't mind the head sculpt. I mean, I've not seen it in person, but to me, I don't think it's awful.
No, I think it's one of those that like. So I've got another one down here ready to.
And there's no, at the end
of
the day.
So it's not awful. Like it's not. Mind you, probably can't really see because of the light, but it's not terrible. Like, I can tell who it is, and it's fine. The only pain in the ass thing, right, is
is that for the eye?
That battery compartment.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be fucked if I can figure out how to get 3 batteries in there. It is so tight, but I'm not a fan of light up features anyway. No. So I've glossed the eye with some red gloss, so it looks like it catches the light, so it looks like it's lit up in a way.
So presumably you have to take his head off, flick a switch, and then put the head back on.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of that.
So that's not really practical, is it?
No, it's bollocks. Yeah. Like, it's such bollocks.
So,
but
I think it's nice. I kind of I've almost been tempted to pick one up myself because there was a few on for sale in the groups and everything. And at the end of the day, if you don't like the sculpts, there's no shortage of custom Arnie sculpts.
No, exactly. That's that's what I was saying. Yeah. There's so many. Like Arnie is probably the one guy that has been done to death in 6 scale. Yeah. Him and Harrison Ford, you will never not find a sculpt that you like. Yeah. So if I want to, I'll swap it out at some point. Yeah. But at the moment, I'm perfectly happy with that.
I mean, obviously, I don't know about the weapon, but I think on every other aspect of it, it looks better than the Hot Toys because Hot Toys is pleather. It's old, and
it's shiny and it's age. That's the thing. It's showing its age. It's not really fair to compare the two anymore. No. Only because of you're looking at what, a 10, 15-year-old figure now.
Yeah.
Like it's just people. There's some yeah, there's some really snobby people who are like, oh, the Hot Toys is far superior,
Yeah.
but it's fuck off. It's pretty much the same. Like this is just newer.
Yeah. You know, and
And actually has leather stuff.
It might tempt them to revisit it if they've still got a license for it. I don't know. You know,
I'll tell you what we are going to see now that this fucker is out and about. We are suddenly going to see loads of battle damaged Vaders with the Terminator knee. I can almost guarantee it, because a while back people were buying these bodies up, the Hot Toy ones, like no man's business, and shoving them on Vaders, and then using that arm piece and the leg. So yeah, we'll end up, no doubt, we'll see people making them and selling them for like fucking hundreds of pounds.
That Hayden Christensen version can't be too far off now.
No,
you know, I think we'll see that in the next few months. So yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, no,
100%.
Nice pickup.
But yeah, well happy with that.
Yeah, brilliant.
So new releases. It's very Star Wars heavy, I'd say, with the new releases.
It's very girl heavy as well. We've got quite a few, female releases, which is good to see. They tend to come in waves. I remember doing a show we did before where there was like 3 or 4, really, really good female figures coming out. So it's just funny how that happens. But yeah, so we've got Padme Amidala from Attack of the Clones. A little bit pricey at the moment. $280 was the price on Toys by an Agent, and I know that the resellers on Facebook are charging around the same. So that'll come down. It's the hype at the moment. I wouldn't pay that for it, but I do like it. I think the head sculpt has taken a little bit of a hit from the proto. Not that was perfect. And again, I think this one is very much dependent on the eye placement and the angle. You can get it looking really good. Others look quite janky. So
it's funny because if you told me they were 3 separate head sculpts, I would believe you.
Yeah.
I would 100% be like, yep.
Yeah.
Like that looks mental. The fact that that's the same head sculpt.
Yeah.
It looks so different just because of eye placement and lighting.
It does.
Yeah.
So, and I think quite a few people in the UK have got them, and they've put some great pictures up, and it does look really good. It's very simple. It's quite bare bones in terms of what you get, but the outfit's quite nice. The trousers are, people are saying, a little bit baggy around the waist, but I mean that's easily fixed. And I think I think you're probably thinking the same as me. If I pick one up, I'd rip it up and make it like the arena version. I mean, I don't know what the body's like underneath. Kind of, because you'd be exposing the midriff, and I don't know if it's got a.
The only thing is, if it's got the ab, if it's got the ab crunch, then you'd be a little bit fucked. But I've seen someone, they picked up 2 and they swapped the body out for a Fison.
You've got to put a Fison in, so I mean that drives your price right up there.
I mean, it's that, or you just find a female body without the ab crunch.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah. I just think it's a slightly more interesting look. It's obviously because it's a bit less uniform because she's got a sleeve missing and stuff like that. But I like it, and it might be one that I sort of look to pick up somewhere along the line. But
if it was a bit, I'd really want to pay about £200 for this. I really wouldn't want to be paying much more than that. Like eventually, if I could see one for around that price, I'd probably pick it up. But at the moment, I'm just £280. Near enough £300.
No, it's not worth that. So it comes with like 4 extra hands. They've got the 2 different blasters. You've got a base with a couple of little bits that stick on the front that I think are meant to look like the Droid factory or something in the arena. So it's very bare bones. It's a £200 figure all day long, and I think once it hits sideshow and stuff, then there should be.
It got down a bit.
Yeah. But no, I think it's good. I think it's a solid figure. It's good to have a in your Star Wars collection, I think.
Definitely.
But yeah,
definitely.
Jose said, maybe they'll do a Toy Fair battle damage version. It would make sense, but then they never did the BD Best Spin Luke, did they? And everyone was said like, that's a shoe in. They're going to do that.
Yeah, they never did.
They didn't do it. So
They never
They
did.
could, but I think I don't know. The whole Toy Fair thing seems to have kind of gone a bit by the wayside now. You tend to get
Yeah,
bloody 3 Iron Men and
that's
something
about
weird.
it.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
don't seem to revisit
I think-
old figures anymore. And
Yeah, I think people lost interest. If I'm
Yeah.
honest, I think the sheer aggro of trying to get older one,
uh-huh.
people have just gone, "Oh, I can't be asked."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the interest is kind of gone with it. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, we'll watch the space. It'd be good if they did.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, I like this.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah. So we got the B2 Super Battle Droid again from Attack of the Clones. 215 Toys Buying Agent, Hong Kong. Yeah, looks good. I think again, still probably a little bit pricey for me at the moment, and I know my son's definitely got his eye on one. So again, once that kind of drops in under the 200, I think we'll be picking one up for his collection.
Yeah.
It looks very good. I like the paint job on it. The weathering is great and everything. But again, you're basically getting what you see there, and a swap out shoulder with the arm blasted off. So, but yeah, you fancy this?
Yeah, I like it, but like you say, 215 is probably it's a bit bare bones for what it is.
Yeah, and
but,
there's no die cast, so it's all plastic. So
no, I'd never noticed the tiny penis they all have either.
yeah,
which is a bit weird. I'd never quite clocked that when I was watching Attack of the Clones. But
you see things on the figures that you think. Oh,
yeah, you think
seeing that on screen.
Yeah, don't remember that. Mind you, that's why they call him a super battle droid.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, no, if it was a little bit cheaper, I'd probably be going for it. But yeah, 215 is just. It's only because it's quite bare bones. There's not really.
No, exactly.
It's a background character.
Yeah,
it's not. And even calling it a character is probably a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
but
and it's one of those ones where like it'll be great when you get it in hand and the paintwork and everything sort of brings it above. But it's more. I think it's more difficult to separate it in your head from like a 20 quid Hasbro figure that you could pick up in a toy shop. Now there is a difference, obviously, but the lines are blurred a little bit compared to when when you're picking up like Padme and you've got all the soft goods and the purrs and the separate eye rolling and all that sort of thing. Whereas with this, sometimes you see someone pick one of these up from Smith's and weather it up.
Yeah.
And they look okay, but obviously, when you've got it close in hand,
I've seen people print these and paint them, and they look really good. Same with the Droidicas and stuff like that. And you kind of go, okay, I could buy the kit, and I could. Don't get me wrong, I've got to paint it.
Yeah.
That's in my wheelhouse. I'm happy to do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But you just kind of go, okay, there are cheaper ways of doing it, and that's the thing. So that's always what makes me go, okay, it's great, but could I print it? And or is there an alternative that I could juice up a bit? Because ultimately, it's not. You're not gonna. This isn't gonna be in prize position on the shelf. It's gonna be.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like IG. Like IG, I never consider that its own kind of figure. It's always an accompanier piece for Duro Steel Mando, or like it's it has to be kind of part of a pair.
This is backdrop for Django and Dooku's we've got there. So.
Yeah. In its own photo, it's not even at the front. That should tell you like enough about it. But yeah,
but I think they've done well. They've done well. They've delivered on what was solicited there.
that's what it says on the tin.
You can talk about this one because I've got no fucking clue who he is.
This is Commander Fox. So he is I think he was one of the Coruscant guards.
Right.
I mean, this looks great. It looks like he does in the show. 190 is a decent price as well, particularly if that's shipped.
Yeah.
For a clone, but
shipped,
but I'm slimming down a bit. I'm going to be selling my 501st Trooper and stuff like that. So I'm not going balls deep into Troopers at the moment. But yeah, I like this. I think it's pretty good. It's a bit of a shame you didn't get. The thing is with me, if they go to the effort of doing a named character, give us a head, give us so we can take the helmet off, And don't get me wrong, like he's gonna look like you could have probably chucked in the Django head sculpt and we would have gone, yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah. But and his hands look really small. I've only just clocked that pointing hand looks tiny.
What I was going to say is like the one in the middle looks like a female. Like the proportions look really feminine,
slim,
slim. You know, whereas the one on the left doesn't. So it's again.
It might be the pose, but you're right. Everything looks really.
And the smaller hands as well, you know.
That's not helping. Yeah, that does look really weird. But yeah, it's objectively a nice figure, but just not for me.
Yeah, and I think the sort of these I say run of the mill clones, ones that aren't a major character like your Rex or Cody and come in with a head sculpt and stuff. They're kind of all you're getting for under 200 from Hot Toys now, aren't they? They are your all you can hope to get for that sort of price.
Yeah, you're paying for the additional paintwork on the armor, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean it looks decent. I just I don't know this character, and it's not one for me. But again, I think. Yeah, so then we go on to the I think is it from Dark Knight Rises? Catwoman. The Anne Hathaway. So this is 270 again, a bit high at the moment. Toys by an Agent Hong Kong. That's free shipping. I'm not blown away by it, and I know Shane's been very vocal about saying that it's not really a 2.0. It's more like a 1.5. They're not really improved anything.
If you showed me this and you showed me the original, I would be hard pushed to tell them apart.
Yeah.
Whereas the Batman and all the other 2.0s they've done, there's been a clear improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
And 270 quid for this, I'd rather go and track down the first one for maybe 150.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look.
And it'd be interesting to see whether whether the suits held up on those original ones. I've not really seen.
I think the boots go on them. I think the rest is fine, but I think it's the boots.
Hot Toys issue, isn't it? Boots. Anything that's getting any flex in it, any movement in it, it's. I suppose it's satisfying people that missed it the first time round that are rebuying the 2.0 Batman and the Bane and whatnot to go. So it makes sense for Hot Toys, but it's a shame that they haven't really improved it. The hair still looks really shiny and really doll-like. Which
when you look at everything else that they've been releasing,
Mr. Dean's there.
It just.
There we go.
Hey, how you going?
Good evening, sir.
You alright?
Yeah.
Good
I
to see you, man.
Running a little late, but here I am. What's going on?
Cool beans.
You've missed the Star Wars stuff.
That's okay.
And we're now bashing Catwoman.
Oh, it's my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
We said bash Catwoman, not bash one out of Catwoman.
Yeah, she's not good enough for that. They could have done better. They could have done better, but
it just seems really lazy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like they've put a lot of effort into it. It seems like they've dusted off the blueprints for the first one and just gone, do it again.
Yeah.
Like there's no improvement. Like I was going to say, if you look at the other, like look at Padme and look at the releases that they've come out in the last, say, 6 months, you can see a clear progression from things that were out, say, last year. This, no chance. It just looks exactly the same. Yeah.
You should be able to see something that you think, well, they've improved the head sculpt or something like that, but it doesn't look.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bollocks. It's so shit.
Yeah.
Like 270 quid as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty half-assed. Considering we have InArt making figures from this property, and now J&D stepping into the ring making stuff from this movie, to not put your best foot forward, considering it's a 2.0, you've already done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's a buyer's market. I mean, yeah, if it decides to make this character, it's going to be what? Let's just say they announce it tomorrow. You're still not going to get it for another year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
But still, like, at this point, it's like, bro, just wait for InArt to do it.
Yeah.
Because this it's uninspired, to say the least.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any effort has actually gone in. They've dusted off the old plans and they've just done it again.
Yeah.
They phoned it in big time.
Yeah. Bit like Sideshow did with that Grievous. They thought,
exactly.
Should we fix the joints?
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. They've not bothered trying to fix anything. They've just gone, fuck it, dust it off, start again. Yeah.
That's a deep cut. Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it's safe to say we're not a fan of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, if maybe for someone who's just like missed it the first time around and
exactly.
they need a Catwoman
desperate
ASAP,
for
like
it.
I guess it makes sense, but
Yeah, it's just bullshit. This I don't really like either. Only because the head looks massively out of proportion. This is Valkyrie. For anyone actually listening instead of watching, I just say I hate everything and I'll tell you what it is.
Like, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
It's,
What the fuck's he on about?
From Thor, Love and
Ragnarok.
Thunder, yeah.
Oh, Love and Thunder.
A universally hated movie. I didn't mind it, to be honest. But,
It's a shame because the head sculpt itself is actually pretty good. It just looks way too big. It looks like a bobblehead.
Well, the one, the
one on the left looks good.
With Korg's head on the back is the one on the left. He's got his head attached. Which one do you think looks the worst then? Which one looks too big?
The one on the left. I think the sculpt looks good. Like if I went like that, right, and covered up the body, I go, wow, that looks really good. I know who that is. And as soon as I take my hand away, I go, fuck off. Like what? It just looks too big.
Yeah.
But they do this quite a lot with some figures, particularly female figures. They make the neck really skinny, like super skinny. Yeah. So it makes I think they do it with Leia as well. On the Return of the Jedi one, they make her neck so skinny that the head just suddenly then looks massive.
Yeah, because it's like that natural transition that a human has. It's like it's there and it's on, so it looks more. I get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm going to balance a watermelon on a pencil kind of thing. It just doesn't look right. It's just like what?
Wow.
Yeah,
but
very descriptive.
What do you think, Dave?
I paint with words.
It's got the seamless arms there, which is quite nice.
This feels like it was an afterthought. Like, fuck it, just get something out there.
Yeah.
People have been asking for this character for a long time. People really wanted a Valkyrie, and they picked the most boring version to do. And from a movie, again, like you said, universally pretty much disliked. Yeah. So they were just like, fuck it, like. We can't sell shit from this movie, so like I guess we'll make a Valkyrie. So they did it, and then it was just kind of like, I don't want to say rushed out the door because it feels like we've been waiting a while, but like this doesn't look like, it's just very boring, which might not be Hot Toys' fault. I don't know, because like, is it like just the character design is just not great?
So, yeah. I felt like, I mean, I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was quite funny. But I didn't like any of the costume designs at all. I felt they were all just overdone, just too much, like the Thor one, and I wasn't a fan of the kind of the design of these. So I think there's a bit of that really. And it looks a bit.
Yeah, and I completely forgot the Korg head on the hair.
Yeah, I know,
we were showing pictures of it on Tuesday, and they're like, the hair looks great. I was like, does it? That looks like a fucking mess. I was like, oh shit, that's
it took me a minute.
Fucking Korg.
It's like got the moustache that looks like a moustache where he's got the hair tied around his face.
Yeah, apparently that's a swap out piece. You could not have that on. Which
I assume it is. Yeah, because
that's a nice inclusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like the cape is. It's just like a blue fabric
Really
cape.
shiny,
It's like
isn't it? It's a bit, yeah.
it's boring to look at. Like at least like with Doctor Strange, there's a bunch of layers and textures to look at.
And I haven't seen anyone with one in hand, but I wonder about these hair strands as well. Like, one, whether they look shit, like really shiny and plasticky, and two, you know, are they going to break off or, or do they just look weird? Because they're quite long.
Yeah.
They go right down to our waist. So.
I reckon they'd be an absolute pain in the ass when you're posing it. They're never going to lay flat. They're going to kind of keep wafting out from the body.
Really like unnatural angle.
Yeah.
But like that looks shit.
I also wonder if it's just a problem with whoever took these photos. Because I've seen blogger photos make or break a figure. It's like, oh, this looks fucking fantastic. Or, this looks like dog shit. And then finally someone in the group gets one in hand and starts posting pictures. And it's like, oh, okay. Like whatever this person's doing, I can see it. Because it's in a collection with like realistic lighting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not sold on this figure at all.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
well,
me
I
neither.
think it's fair to say none of us will be picking this up. We've already been through. We won't dwell on this too much because Ian got this figure in last week. Obviously, he's been doing a lot of his custom blood work and stuff on it. So we kind of talked about that in length. But I like it. I think it's a decent release.
I'm
not sure.
That's what I mean about the cutouts like that on the arm.
Yeah, they're just too clean, aren't they?
It's too clean. Way too clean.
Was that about the price you paid? I couldn't find because obviously it's way been sold.
Yeah, it was about 180, 200, something like that. I think it was 180. Yeah, 180 I paid when the invoice was ready. Then there was a deposit on top of it.
You got 2 jackets, 2 pairs of trousers.
No. Just the one pair. That's the bit that doesn't quite make sense. You get two. You get 2 jackets. You get one, and then 1 shirt and 1 trousers. Right, so you kind of have him with his chest blown open and the knee blown open and an immaculate jacket. Yeah. Like unless you swap it out
it's
for
a bit odd, isn't it?
this one.
You might have got like the clean trousers and that as well.
But, but no.
Yeah, no, we like it. We thought it was good. What about yourself, Dean? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think bang for the buck, this is pretty solid. Yeah. I mean, third-party pricing, and it's actual leather, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. The only pleather on it's the belt, which is a weird choice. But
that's easily,
I'm not going to complain.
Easily replaceable. You can cut a strip of leather yourself or buy it from a hobby shop and
toy anxiety.
Your worries.
Yeah, but it doesn't look bad. If it ever breaks apart, then I'll do that. But
that's what I mean.
You can't really tell.
Just from a bit of a flakes, you can just do that. But
it's definitely crazy what third-party companies are able to achieve. Which is good for, I think, everybody because hopefully Hot Toys sees this and is like, hey, get your shit together, guys. Look what these people are doing.
Yeah.
And so, I think this is crazy. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the likeness isn't that great. It's like, I mean, I've seen better Arnold likenesses, but again, bang for the buck.
Yeah. And I think because he's missing half his face, it looks a hell of a lot better than the clean one.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
A bit goofy.
You're not
this
wrong.
one, I think, it works.
Yeah, because you're not really looking at the Arnie side. You're looking at the blown away side.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot to focus on. So I think you know who it is, and you can't say it's a bad. It doesn't look like him. And as we said earlier, Dean, there's plenty of. You can pick up a Hot Toys head, or you can pick up a custom. There's no shortage of custom heads out there if you really don't like it that much. But I like it. I like it, and maybe I might pick one up one day.
Yeah, they're good. I can't complain. I've got one.
And then by the same people, Present Toys, their Blade figures come out as well from the second movie, I believe.
Yes, I think so. I think it's the second one.
Come out really well as well.
I've got no issues with this. I think this is pretty good. decent price. It's a decent figure. I can tell who it is. It looks better with the glasses on than off.
Yeah.
But if I had a blade, I'd have it with the glasses on. So
Yeah.
I've really got nothing to complain about.
Again, I assume real leather.
Yeah, it's all leather again.
So yeah, I like it. I'd be tempted with this as well.
The only problem I saw with this, and I think it's probably pretty easily fixed, he's short as hell.
Right. Okay.
Super small.
Is he?
Like,
Yeah.
almost like a half head shorter than other figures.
Oh, okay.
Like, him
that
on
could
his
be
base is, like, still
Yeah.
kind of shorter than some figures not on a base. Like,
Right.
Wow.
but you know, some ankle extenders, again, bang for the buck. People have been wanting a fucking solid
Yeah.
blade for a long time that's not
Yeah.
crazy old.
And it looks like there's a little bit of lengthening those trousers to be able to get away with it. You can always pull them down a little bit at the waist and stuff like that. So it looks like you could. I mean, you're not going to be able to get one of those Fison basketball bodies in there, but you know, a decent world box body or something would probably do wonders for it.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would just be mindful of if you're looking for a blade.
And it's got a fixed neck, hasn't it? So you haven't got to worry about colour matching that to a body either, which is
It's all hidden.
Yeah, because that's always a pain in the arse when you've got when you've got a necklace sculpt and you've got to buy a body with a neck and getting the colour to match. So that's that takes that issue out. So I think with a lot of these, like they're very cheap, the bodies they use. I don't know about how was the Arnie one? Obviously,
Fine. Absolutely. All I did on
it
was
a very bespoke body, isn't it? Because of the battle damage and stuff. So
I think the only thing I did to it was cut the underarms away. That was it, and that's pretty standard, really, for most stuff I do. So it was fine. The body's fine.
Body will be like a cheap as shit, like $10 body. So I think if you go into it with the mindset that you buy a replacement body for it, it's still going to be £200 and look really good.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so that was it for new releases, and then we'll moving into coming soon. So, Dean, you've probably spoken about this many times already. This is our first run at this. So, Return of the Jedi Han Solo on 1/6 kit, $250 with free shipping, and that's slated to release Q1, Q2, 2025. What do we think, guys? I assume you're both picking this up.
I've pre-ordered it with 1/6 kit.
Yeah,
Doing it. I was tempted to pre-order 2, and then I've got a Bespin one as well. Then I just put the blue jacket on it. Job done.
Yeah.
I like it. There's a couple of bits. Like I'm pretty sure that the shirt should be more of a creamy color in Return of the Jedi. But other than that, and that's nitpicking, like other than that, it's pretty good. The sculpt, I'm on the fence about, only because I just think because I think it's set like he's looking up, so he's a bit like crinkled up. Fucked, everything's gone, and I'm back. Yeah, you know, we've been off on these for ages. This is a pretty good attempt. I'm not going to sit and nitpick it. I think it's pretty good. And by now I've got enough hand sculpts by various different people that if the sculpt really pisses me off that much, I'll pop a new one on it. So I like it.
I actually really like it. I think, I mean, first of all, this is just completely out of the blue. Others have said it ad infinitum, but, we all thought that there was no chance. Why did we ever get Bespin? He was in the background of all those, the layer photos and everything. So it'd be very interesting, and it would be an absolute no-brainer for them to do the Bespin one now, because you've not got to change a lot. And I think
got to do is put a blue jacket on it.
Exactly, and I think possibly maybe that's why they've kind of gone a bit half-hearted on the shirt, so that they can reuse it. And if you don't want the Return of the Jedi look, if you don't want that coat, you can buy it and make it your Bespin one if you've got the blue jacket. So
if I was them, I would have released this as not tied to either film. I would have just released it as a deluxe Han Solo
With
and
both
probably
figures.
added another 50 quid on it and shoved the blue jacket in as well and go, oh, look, you've got looks from both films.
Yeah, I think we'll see a
You
Bespin
know.
one, and then you've got to buy both of them. So,
Yeah.
I think actually the sculpt is really good, and I think there's been a lot of talk about the hair. Possibly, maybe it looks a little bit helmety. It probably just needs a bit of variation in the colours and stuff. I actually think the sculpt's really good, on a par, probably better than a lot of the custom ones. So
The hair needs highlighting. It's all
that's
one
what I was
colour.
thinking. Yeah,
There's no... I don't know what it is with Hot Toys lately, but they don't seem to want to paint hair. They base coat it, and then they go, that'll do. And then they walk away from it. But they put so much detail into the face, I don't understand why they won't finish hair off.
no, but I mean that photo on the right looks amazing. That's a really good likeness.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. And yeah, so I've pre-ordered him. I've got a kit bashed Jedi hand, so I would have always have bought this if he ever came out. Didn't expect it to, but has the base is a bit odd. I know that they've kind of made it sort of try and match with the 3PO one, but I think like Zach said, it's very jarring. You've got like a really sort of mechanical cog shape, and then you've got forest on top of it. So I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be using the base at all. But
Hot Toys can't do bases
no,
at all. They're cunts, right? I swear they do it on fucking purpose. They do it on purpose. They give you a quarter scale figure with a fucking 4-foot base on, so no one can put the cunt in a display case.
yeah,
And then they go, right, for years we've been giving you with the same kind of style of base, and then now we're going to give you this thing, which then raises the figure up even fucking taller. So by the time you then put it in the display with everything else, with all the other Return of the Jedi figures they've already released, and they're all fucking over the place like that.
yeah.
I'm simple. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. Just give me a fucking oval base. That's all I want. I don't want any of these other weird big arse bases. Just give me an oval one and I'll be quite happy, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I think also refreshing changes, and they draw attention to it here, and I think it's warranted this time. Is that the hands look really good, the hand sculpts, and he's actually got quite a lot of hands. It's almost like you used to get. He's got like seven pairs of hands, and he's got some really good gesturing, expressive hands as well, which I think is nice. Is refreshing.
I like the way they're like, we put the hands in the pocket of the jacket. Like that's a feature.
They've just taken the hands off, I assume. That's always normally the best way. To do it.
Six scale hands don't normally fit into a pocket. They look weird, so you normally take them off and just shove the ball peg in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
None the wiser. So have you put your money down on this one already, Dean?
I'm still kind of hemming and hawing about it because most of the OT stuff,
you do New Hope, don't you?
A New Hope, yeah. Now I have Bespin Luke and Boba Fett, and then I have Jedi Luke. But other than all the other characters, I stopped at A New Hope because it's like those are like my
me too. Yeah, it's my
ideal versions, and I'm not a completionist per se. But Han Solo's fucking cool. It's just this outfit is so similar to A New Hope, with the white shirt, the black jacket, and the pants.
Yeah,
like it's. I feel like I already have this figure. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, a trench coat, like sure, like the colors are a little different, like blue pants instead of brown. Yeah, but
I get.
I also could have sworn.
Sorry,
what's that?
No, I got the impression that a lot of people were going to buy this to have as a New Hope hand, and just kind of forget the different trouser color because the head sculpt's so good.
Yeah. The head sculpt's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not liking the hair. I'm hoping they go back and retool it. But I could have sworn, I could be wrong, but I thought his jacket was more blue than a black in Return of the Jedi, but that's whatever.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
does
I'm
go
not
back more
sure.
towards the black. I
yeah.
think it is his Bespin jacket with the arms cut off, but I think they dyed it a little bit darker. So it's definitely different. It's definitely different to the New Hope one. I think it's lit. I think I read that they just cut the arms off a Bespin jacket, and he had that. But I think it is dyed dark. It might be a very, very, very dark blue.
Okay.
But it
Yeah,
shows
in
more as
some,
black. I think
it's almost like Michael Myers. The original suit
Yeah.
was green, but the way they filmed the movie,
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
blue. It looks blue.
Yeah.
So like those old movies, like it might have been filmed in a way.
Yeah, and like his brown blue coat on
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the
in
Hoth one. I mean, it was
Empire,
brown,
Yeah.
but they put so much blue focus in the lighting that
Yeah.
the
That's
original
hilarious.
was blue. Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, good callback.
So
Yeah.
but no, I think it looks great. And
Yeah. This figure, I mean, dude, it's a home run pretty much. I mean, the fact that we're getting a Han at all, I mean, if you had asked me a week ago what were the chances, I would have said 0 to 5%.
absolutely.
Yeah, same here.
So
Same here.
it's pretty mind blowing. And the fact that it looks as good as it does, the likeness is incredible.
So do we think that it's been asked before, but do we think that there's a possibility now that we'll get a young Indy based on the opening scene of Dial of Destiny?
I think we will.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I knowing how Hot Toys likes to reuse sculpts, I can't see them letting this one slide.
No.
Well, the fact that they are doing old Indy, I think that there must have been some talks with Harrison Ford in doing his likeness. And it's like, hey, we're going to do old Indiana Jones. We also want to do Han Solo. And, Indiana Jones is hot right now because of the new movie. We should
and also he loves Indy and he's not a fan of Han, is he? So maybe they've said, well, we'll make an Indy figure if we can put a Han out as well. We'll use the same sculpt.
I think we're more likely to see a young Indy from the new game. I think we're more likely to see that than we are. Than we are to see one from the film.
in the VGM line.
Yeah.
That's
That'll still work
interesting.
as long as it's mostly the same look as that. They might give him a different bag or something, maybe just to.
I think they've taken his gun off him or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, they did in the last the new film, didn't they?
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I reckon video game series. That's what we'll end up seeing. I don't think they're going to go back and revisit the film.
No.
We would have seen it by now.
But it's good. It's good to see. That his likeness is available again.
The
young
this year coming up, and then next year. I mean, there's no Star Wars. There's no Marvel. They're gonna have to start pulling some shit out of their asses. So, yeah, I think it's totally possible to see Indy in some form or other.
And also, there's such an untapped. They haven't given us the Hoth, Han and Luke. It'd be nice to see Hot Toys have a go at that, and obviously with this sculpt, that's a good start. It's good. I like it. I'm really, really happy, and I pre-ordered it day one. And as you say, Ian, it's tempting to buy loads of them, but I think get one. I'm going to get one, get it in hand. If the sculpt really is that good, then I might try and track down some parted out ones or whatever. But I've already got so many hands. It's difficult to justify buying two. But it's the nature of the game, isn't it? Like indie, there's still people bringing out new sculpts every week, and some of them are like, I really like that, but I just don't really want to go through that continual upgrade.
Yeah, like how many more do I need?
I'm happy with the ones I've got. I don't look at any of them and go, oh, I don't like that one. I need to replace that. But I would be interested in seeing if Hot Toys do a younger version of him, whether it's the Destiny or the game or even like Last Crusade. Is what people really want. But Yeah, I'll let you have this one, Ian, because I can see the figures behind you.
Yes, yeah. So the Part 3 DeLorean. So this is going to set you back £660 plus shipping and tax. So that's from Sideshow. It's at Q1, Q2 2025.
Probably looking about £1,000.
Yeah.
To £1,000, I'd say.
Yeah, by the time you've added all that up.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Living in
That's
this country,
more than
mate.
I paid for my first car, my first proper car. Like, and that shit you had to put petrol in. Like, this is mental. But yeah, look, it's great. I think if this is your definitive version, then the thing is, I think everyone's got a favourite DeLorean.
Yeah.
Mine's the first one when it rolled off the back of the truck.
Yeah.
That's why I've never bothered getting rid of mine. I love it. I'm never gonna upgrade it or get rid of anything else. But this is, I like the way you can swap the wheels out. I like the way you get the white tyres.
Train wheels. That's the
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
great.
that's. I would be tempted to print some train tracks.
Yeah.
And make a dio with it just on the train tracks.
Gravel and stuff.
Yeah,
that
it's a
would
piece
be
of piss to
so
do
good.
because all you're doing is printing a couple of straight lines and sticking them to a board.
Yeah.
Like, dead easy.
Absolutely.
I would 100% be doing that. I think the detail on the inside of the car is good, but Hot Toys tend to skimp a little bit on the detail because, like, you don't get pedals, or anything like that. It just
they don't
stops.
put like the carpet in, do they? And people
No, and you
think
don't
that.
get some of the, because if you look at a picture of the Hot Toys versions and a picture of the actual car, there's loads of wiring missing as well. That's just not on there, which is a bit annoying because
you
there's
can
loads
understand
more wiring all on the front of
when
the
they
car
didn't
as well. They
do
don't
that
do.
on the first one that came out, 10 years ago, or whatever. But
Hmm.
on these newer ones, they should be pushing that. Those,
Yeah.
and get-
Make me want to upgrade from my
Yeah.
first one. So
think-
far, the second and third hasn't given me a lot
I
of
think the
reason to
biggest
upgrade.
for me is the light up dashboard with the because the readouts didn't light up today in the original.
The flux capacitor did, and the bit with the date and time all did
but there's some
on the first
additional
one.
lighting, isn't there? I think in the
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I like it. I mean, 3 is by far my least favourite of the movies and of the cars, but it still looks great. Do we think they'll re-release the part 1?
No,
Seems
I
you
can't see it
don't.
happening.
You don't.
No.
That seems like a bit of a no-brainer to me, to be honest. But
I just can't see them. I think they've left it too long since they redid the first Marty. The part 1 doc, how long has that been out now? 2 years?
Yeah.
3 years or so?
Yeah.
I think we would have seen it by now.
yeah, I don't know
really-
because they
Because why go like recently? Why go 2, 3, and then go back to 1?
because I think I don't know why because they teased the second one a long time ago, and obviously people wanted that for the hover conversion. I almost think that I wouldn't be surprised if they did it because I think they'd go 2 because they know that people would buy it because you can kind of make it look like part 1. The Mr. Fusion is the issue, and obviously they didn't give you any swap out, to do that. But I think that there are those people that have got it posed with the part 1 figures, and they would still buy the part 1 if it came out.
If they were smart about it, you would make a ultimate edition where you can switch between part 1, 2, and 3 by giving you the swap out dashboard,
Like they did
the
Lego
wheels.
version. Yeah.
Yep, the wheels, and because there's conversion kits for the first DeLorean to make it into 2, and that Mr. Fusion bit is effectively just a metal plate with the Mr. Fusion on that just goes over the top. So that's all they'd have to do
Just to, swap
to get
that
2.
over,
Yeah, and then what they could then do is give you the weather vane for 1 as well, which I got custom made because
Yeah.
it was. I don't know why the fuck they didn't put it in.
No.
But yeah, I think if it would be far more sensible, it would piss everyone off, but it would be way more sensible to give you a deluxe version with everything, because all of this is just swap out bits.
They don't
There's
care
nothing
about
that's
pissing
fixed
people
in
off.
place.
We
No,
know
exactly. They've never been bothered before. That to me would make more sense, but it's Hot Toys, so you're right. They'll probably just reissue the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes too much sense for them to do it.
Yeah, exactly that.
But it almost would make the most sense because, like you said, give me a reason to upgrade the one I already own.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you've got people who have one, because no one's got all three.
Right.
People only have one DeLorean, and they've made their choice and they picked one. But you give them the ability to be able to represent more than one movie, and people would go,
the new one,
yeah, I'll just get that, and then I've got more choice. But yeah, but no, I like this. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad
it's a DeLorean. Why wouldn't it's cool? It's always going to be cool.
Exactly, and I'm glad they did it so that whichever set of them, the figures you've got, if you've only got one set, you can get a car to go with it. So
yeah,
I like
what is quite nice about that is that around the release of a Doc and Marty, there has been the coinciding DeLorean. So you've always had the ability to be able to pick up a DeLorean, which is handy. They haven't left it ages and ages. So.
My view on it is I would like them to re-release the part one, because I sold the original one, and then Doc came out, and I have and ahed about buying the part two and having it with with the wheels down, but obviously the Mr. Fusion bit is a slight issue. It wouldn't necessarily bother me. I could live with it, but I think if they did re-release a part one, I would probably have to buy it now because I've got Marty and Doc. So yeah, I would be interested in it. I would like them to do it, but yeah, we'll have to see what their thinking is.
Fuck it, give me the train. I want the fucking train.
Yeah, people have said that. Yeah,
give me that shit.
Jazzing for that, mate.
Yeah.
is
Need a
there
fucking
cheaper way
extension for that.
Is there a cheaper way for y'all to buy this?
Not really.
No, not really.
Just because of the size
Not
and
really.
weight of it. It's not like
It's mainly shipping's a big factor.
Yeah, and it's going to raise eyebrows at customs. They
Even-
let a lot of the little boxes go through, but
Even like with 1/6 Kid or like Tim Sands or something like that.
I mean, obviously, once it's I don't know what their price was, because they put stuff up, and once their allocation's gone, it disappears. So I can't remember how much it was. It was probably about 8 or 9, around 850 maybe.
God damn.
You could, that would include shipping, but obviously the customs is the big thing, as I say, and the majority. I've never had any customs from kit. But this is a massive box, and if it's marked up, $10 on the thing, you're running a risk that
It's going to get pulled, isn't it?
Opened up,
It's going to get pulled.
Get 200 quid slapped on top of that.
It's crazy that it's
Yeah.
you guys get marked
Yeah,
up
we get
that
fucked in the
high.
arse on
I mean, you guys are technically closer
Yeah.
to where it's shipping from. It's like
yeah, we just get butt fucked by our government.
good
All
old
the time.
government.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
the fucking time.
Yeah. So what else we got? I think we could probably skip over this quite quickly because I'm not sure anyone's interested in this. The Black Manta from the recent Aquaman film, which I have no interest in watching. 210 1/6 kit, releasing Q1, Q2 2025. Anyone got anything good to say about this?
It's nice they've released it for the DC people, but I've not seen the film, so I don't know if it's accurate. He looks like he's head to toe bondage gear, so
It does, doesn't he? It's a bit kinky.
yeah, it's a bit kinky, but yeah, it's all right in it. It's not much
No, and there's no
really to say about it. Like, it's okay.
They haven't solicited an Aquaman to go with him, have they? They're just going, well, you've got
No.
one of the previous ones. That's close enough.
It's because in the last film, everyone was like, "Oh, I want a Black Manta." So they're probably going, "Oh, fuck it, just have one from the second film and shut up." Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if you look at the suit of armor in the first movie, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And this is no fault of Hot Toys.
No.
The character design of this in the second movie is boring as shit. And it's like, this is the one they decided to do. Like, it's kind of a bummer because in that first movie, Black Manta was very cool, like on screen. It was like, hell yeah. I almost kind of wish the movie was revolving around this guy. But they saved that for the second movie, and it's just like Ian said, good for the DC guys, because they get hosed all the time. And I mean, I feel like it could just go into any DC shelf you have, not necessarily movies, right? Because Black Manta is kind of just big helmet, red eye guy. I'm sure some DC guy out there is like blasphemy, but like you could fuss him into pretty much any DC shelf. So I think it's a cool release overall. It's just kind of that first movie version was so cool that I would have much. If they had announced that, I probably would have picked it up. That's how cool that was. So yeah, this is kind of
a bit meh. Here's one. I think you might have pre-ordered. Ian.
I pre-ordered this one as well, the Geordi La Forge. Blinding, like quite. I
love it.
Blinding,
mate, yeah.
Brilliant. Like I think there's a little bit of work they can do on the sculpts. If they won't do it, I will. But
I think it's more about the skin color. People could say it's a bit too dark, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, this was always coming down the line because it's just new hands and a head, really.
I think, you said about you were looking at custom sculpts and picking up another data and stuff like that. So just to fill in, we've got Geordi La Forge from XO6, Star Trek Next Generation, 185 for the standard, which is their deluxe, and 150 for the exclusive. So nice prices there. I'm liking their pricing model. And you get quite a lot of stuff with the standard. You get these like the standard tricorder and phaser, but you get these little engineering briefcase thing.
I like the two hands like that. Yeah, because he always stands like that. Yeah. That's brilliant. That's really good.
That is good, and that's like like XO6 did with the Iconic did with the Ryu with the it makes sense because there's no way you could do that with separate hands. So no, it's nice and it's good. You're gonna have two of the bridge crew. So you're one up on me with the original series.
As soon as they carry on putting bridge crew up for pre-order, I just instantly go in and go, yep, fine, because they don't take an absolute fortune for a deposit. It's like 20 quid, and the figures are fucking dirt cheap when they come out anyway compared to everything else. Yeah, and if it's one that I'm not too keen on, I'll just get the 150 quid version.
And you're only waiting about 3 months as well from pre-order to release. So
definitely well up for this.
Yeah, nice.
They have got to work on the way they sell their shit. Standard is deluxe.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I know.
What world are they living in?
Yeah.
It was so confusing. We were going over some photos
wrong.
the other day.
I've put exclusive. That should read essential. Sorry.
Yeah, essential.
Essential.
To me, essential is just kind of like. I guess essential is standard, and then standard is deluxe.
Yeah, essential. It's essential. You have to have it. Whereas standard is
essential
basic,
makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
I get that. It's like, hey, if you just had to have it, this is the essential one. You got it.
Yeah. To me, essential and standard are the same thing. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, we were going over the photos. I forgot which one it was. Ben always brings the Star Trek stuff on the CW.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait, which version is this? And we had to go back. It was so confusing.
Yeah. They don't help themselves.
No.
But, Droid La Forge is cool.
Yeah.
I don't collect Star Trek because, one, not a lot of people make it. So, and then two, I'll just never stop buying if I do. It's like why I don't collect Lord of the Rings. I'm just like...
Yeah.
I'm all over original series and Wrath of Khan stuff when they start dropping, so I need to be prepared financially for that.
I've said next gen, that's all I'm after. Give me a bridge crew and I'm happy. Like, in fact, I could probably stop. I'd probably, after this, if you gave me a Riker and a Picard and a Worf, that's it. I could quite happily stop there and not bother with like Wesley's and stuff like that and Troy's. Like, I could probably stop there.
And Beverly, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
it's good. It's good. I think that it'd be nice to see if they start accelerating. They did put Neelix up for pre-order, but that's Voyager, and I couldn't give a fuck about talking about that.
It looks like dog shit as well.
Yeah,
like
so,
it's going
sorry, Ben.
like weird.
I didn't even bother to put him in. It took me
Nah,
about
fucking horrendous.
2 seconds to decide not to bother.
Hmm.
Love Star Trek, love this figure, but yeah, for me, I wouldn't have had anything to say about him. He's annoying
it's
as
dog shit.
fuck in the show, and I don't know why you'd want to on your shelf, but yeah. Okay, right. So here we are. This is the meat on the bones. Again, I I'll talk about this, but I don't really have any love for this. This is and I know that some people are absolutely gushing over this release. So this is the InArt Joaquin Phoenix Joker from the 2019 movie. This is the premium version, so I think that makes sense over the deluxe. This is 4 whole figures. The price is £1,400, £1,100.
How about new?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is all I'm saying about it. Nope.
Yeah.
Not
Releasing Q1, Q2 2025. I'll let you guys go on this because I know that like Eddie is absolutely in love with this and he's all over it and he's ordered it and stuff. Undoubtedly, the quality looks brilliant, but I couldn't be any less excited for this release, I think.
Yeah. Quality's great. It's going to be for the price, but it's not an iconic enough Joker. And by now, the type of person I am, if I wanted a decent Joker and I was absolutely in love with it, I would have worked on one relentlessly for like the last 3-4 years, and I'd have something that I would have put. I would have put a lot of work into it, and I'd be quite happy with it. I'm just not into it that much, and again, they just seem to be going after figures that we've seen thousands of times before. Yeah. I don't need a definitive version of this Joker. Like, I don't. So I'm out. Like, not for me.
Yeah, there's 50 third-party variations of this character.
Yeah,
I have no doubt that what you're paying for is of the highest quality.
Oh, these look like those stills from the movie.
Yeah. Apart from the one on the left and far right, I think the one on the far right is getting far too of an easy pass.
I mean, to me, the bathroom one looks.
That looks fantastic. That and the middle one look really good. The one on the far left and the one on the far right, you can eat shit for that money. I'm not having that.
Yeah,
like,
you've got. What does the deluxe one come with? It comes with the red suit.
The red suit and Arthur Fleck.
Arthur Fleck. So even.
And they're hand delivered by the actor as well.
Yeah, so whichever set you go, you've got to buy the Arthur Fleck, which is arguably the least convincing of the of the 3 main. That's what I don't like really. That you kind of get put behind this paywall within art. That why can't you buy? They're not selling them separately because no one will buy that fucker in the top right if he's on his own. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do this with Ledger's Joker, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the purple suit, then the jailhouse suit, then the nurse Joker, and then maybe like where he's in the police uniform, or I don't know, another version of Joker where it's like that's like people's definitive Joker.
Yeah, I'd see way more people buying that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd tell that to fuck off as well. But I can see your point, Dean. That it's
it's more
like iconic.
This movie is like, I mean, it's a good movie and all, but like, I think in 20 years, people are still going to be talking about Ledger's Joker. No one's going to be talking about these movies. Like, maybe I'm just fucking out of touch and I'm wrong, but like,
I watched it. At the cinema, I enjoyed it, but I've never felt the need to go back and watch it again. It's not the same. it was very well acted, and obviously it has quite a serious theme about mental health and depression and stuff like that. But yeah, I just almost feel like people are get very enthused about something that I don't feel got that much love at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if their first release had been the red suit, this guy,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, the 2-pack is Arthur Fleck and the red suit. Instead of like leading with the Ledger Joker and doing the 2-pack with the jail house diorama,
Yeah.
and then
I
like
guess-
showing people what you're capable of, and then it's like, hey, now we're doing Ledger Joker, and it's gonna cost you $1,400, and it's the biggest, baddest one we got.
Yeah.
I think that would have dude. I mean, talk about making money hand over fist, but
Yeah.
Yeah, people would have lost their minds.
And I guess we'll probably see a lot of people will be looking to buy this to split it out. But obviously they're going to command very different figures, I think. You 50 quid for the guy on the top right. And, there's a lot of people that say, they're very vocal about the fact that they only ever have one representation of a character on their shelf. Well, here, we're forcing 4 on you. So you've either got to change that hard and fast rule you have, or you're buying it with the view to selling off the ones
We're
you
giving
don't
you
want.
enough to fill every shelf in a debt off.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Like,
I've never met anyone who loves this movie so much, I guess, except Eddie,
Yeah.
that it's like, I need every version,
Yeah.
4 versions of this guy. It's like, it's so bizarre that they chose to do that with this one. Now, they said it was a licensing thing, and it was like, if you want to make this figure, it has to be a certain dollar amount. So they're like, the only way we could do it is to do a 2-pack and a 4-pack. Sure, I'll give you that, but like, I don't know, like, it seems so weird. It's like, who likes this movie that much? Maybe I'm just a dingus and I don't know what I'm talking about, but like,
Well, Mr. Masashi's ordered it, and he says he's very pleased that he got the $10 off with the CW code. So
you got the 4-pack, Mr. Masashi, or
it looks,
or
I
the
assume
2-pack.
so.
The
Yeah.
2-pack makes sense, right? You get the
Yeah.
Arthur Fleck and then the final
yeah,
sequel.
yeah.
It looks great. I think it is smart putting like, hey, you want the bathroom scene, which is kind of like the most iconic scene in the movie,
Yeah.
behind the paywall. That's smart, but like, I don't know. Yeah, okay, Mr. Masashi, he's getting all 4. So I guess I'm a dingus because I don't see it. A Ledger Joker, I'd be like, oh yeah, I get it, and I don't even like those movies, and I would get it. But this is like, I guess.
Yeah. This is a bit of a reach.
Yeah, but it's interesting. As I say, they look amazing. They just
Yeah,
for
me.
me, and I
Apart
just
from that
don't
one on the
like-
right.
Yeah. But well, even then, I mean, it still probably beats 99% of anybody else's work, but it's just not as good as the 2 in the middle. I think it's interesting to see that they're really kind of like stepping up now. They've only been on the scene for a little amount of time, and they're kind of waving their dick around and saying, we're this good that you're all going to buy this 4-pack. You're going to find, you're going to completely reevaluate what you 3 months ago said that you would pay for a figure. And people are continuously doing it, and it does make me laugh.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it myself in a little way. I mean, my InArt Gandalf is finally on his way
Yeah,
from Kit, and
yeah. Normally, I would totally agree with you, but I mean, dude, they shut me up real fast.
yeah,
Because before they came out with the Joker, I was like, guys, prototypes always look
too.
fucking good.
yeah.
Wait until people actually have this shit in hand to be dropping this kind of money. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, shut the fuck up because we're making the best fucking figures you've ever seen. And I mean, they've delivered pretty much every single time a figure is released that I'm like, fuck, that is just as good as they said it was going to be. So,
Yeah, and that Aragorn, when that comes out, if that comes out looking, 90% of what they showed, that's going to push it up
yeah,
again.
insane. So, I mean, At this point, I'm just kind of like, okay, InArt, do whatever the fuck you're gonna do because you.
And I loved the Harry Potter. I just couldn't justify the price for what you get.
Like half scale figures.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and to get the rooted hair, you had to buy the massive diorama and all that sort of thing. But it's interesting that actually now there's a lot of people saying that they don't think that the Ledger sculpt is perfect, that they could do better.
Well, yeah, I've seen that too. Everyone was all up in arms about how great it was, and then J&D showed theirs, and they're like, well, the inner one's not that great. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. But you're always going to get that because not everyone.
You are.
People are never happy, ever. Even with this, you've got people fucking like circling little fucking blemishes and shit like that, and you're like, oh, go suck a dick. Like seriously, when it's on the shelf, you're not going to see it. It doesn't make a blind bit of fucking difference.
Yeah, with
You
a macro lens photo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know, it's like when I paint a sculpt for someone, right, and they zoom in to like right into like a tiny bit of it and go, yeah, can you just tidy that up? And I'm like, mate, I don't have a magnifying glass that big enough to get in to that level to be able to just go, meh. Because unless you circle it, I'm not going to fucking see it. I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
Because we've seen you paint the fucking faces on those Warhammer figures, mate, so don't give me that shit.
Called you out, dude.
He did. I'll give you that one. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck to you if you've sold a kidney to pick these guys up. I'm sure they'll be amazing. Yeah. This, on the other hand, is not amazing.
No.
Although I think, as Dean pointed out, bin the head off, and you know if the costume's decent. But I've got the Dark Toys one that came out a year or so ago, and that was really good, and that was probably about the same price, and the sculpt was much better. I think it's a recast of the Inigo one, but it's pretty good. The sculpt
Again, there's hundreds of Deckard sculpts on eBay. Like you could just swap it out dead easy.
Yeah, the outfit's the hardest part of any figure.
Yeah.
Someone's doing 99.9% of the legwork, even with all the accessories. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
For 100,
there's a really good
bucks. Yeah, that's
there's a really good feature of this figure though, is that every time anyone lies around it, his nose seems to grow.
He does have kind of a big nose.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a cut on him. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, Deckard's a fucking cool cat though. So
yeah,
he is. Yeah, and I really like my one, and I think as you say, if you pick it up with the view that you're going to replace the head sculpt, and there's plenty on, like I actually replaced the one on here because the paint job was a bit weird on the one. It was very translucent. I picked one up off eBay from China, and it was really good. So I think it's just another opportunity to pick up. As you say,
there's like unpainted ones on eBay for like a tenner.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they're so cheap, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't even think this is even that atrocious. I've seen some pretty bad Harrison Ford.
Oh, there's a lot worse. Yeah.
So,
absolutely,
100%.
So it looks like it's pretty much the same as the Dark Toys one, except the Dark Toys one came with the I don't know the proper name. Forgive me, but basically the lie detector thing. But
yeah.
That's really shitty anyway. It's just a lump of plastic. It's not very well, so you're not missing out there. I mean, obviously the gun is a really iconic design, and it's really nice one that came with mine. But difficult to tell whether it's going to be good or not. You get the lots of these little badges and stuff. So yeah, it's 120 quid. You can't really argue with that. You can't moan too much. I swapped the shoes out on my one because again these look they're very like Action Man kind of plastic, molded plastic. But you can pick up some decent material pleather shoes online as well. It's okay. It was just the sculpt is a bit that conks a bit on side profiles. That's definitely a bit odd, but
yeah, just a bit.
And then we had this guy. So £5 cheaper, you can get the ad toys, Wolfman, Wolverine. You get 3 head sculpts with this one.
So what's interesting is that picture along the right-hand side with the 3 boxes. The first one, he smelt the fart. The second one, he's really pissed off about the fart. The third box is he's come to realise that he's the one who actually farted.
Or that he's realised
It's in
that actually
sequence.
It had lumps in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It just... the head sculpt is fucking appalling. The rest of it looks okay, but the head sculpt...
But all of them...
They're all bad. They're all crap. They're all fucking awful.
They're all Hot Toys recasts, aren't they? But obviously got a bit mangled. Not the middle one, but the top one is the looks like a recast of the one that came with the
X-Men 3 one.
Or no, I'm thinking possibly, or the Wolverine one where he's in the black suit.
Yeah, maybe.
And then the one at the bottom is Days of
Future Past.
Yeah. And obviously the one in the middle, fuck knows.
Fuck knows what that is.
But again, 115. You get the seamless arms. They get the jacket. It's probably not. It's not going to be leather, but yeah.
It's kind of the same thing as that last Deckard. Like for 115 quid, we can't move for Wolverine sculpts either.
No, exactly.
You get a fairly decently tailored outfit. Body looks half decent, and you get the bone claws and the metal claws and all those hands. So you kind of.
And to be fair, I don't. I haven't seen the most recent Wolverine in hand. I don't think that Hot Toys have ever nailed that Jackman sculpt. I have.
No,
owned
I
a
don't
couple
think
of
they
them, and I've never been. They've always been a little bit off, and so.
They're always very stylized.
Yeah,
they don't look very. You can tell who it's meant to be. You can tell who it is,
obviously.
but it's always a bit stylized compared to what he actually looks like.
Yeah, this looks like a supplementary figure if you already own the Hot Toys one, because that one comes with some like swap out parts. So it's like, hey, here's another body. You could put some of those parts on this one. Have 2 complete figures, some heads. Like you said, you get the claws, with the actual metal claws.
This is when you ask your mum for Wolverine, and she says, "We've got Wolverine at home."
Yeah,
like this is what it is. Like,
yeah, I think this is literally just for someone who already has the Hot Toys and wants to like spice it up and have like an ultimate version or something like.
This is what I call a fodder toy. This is your kid looks at your collection and goes, "Oh, I really want one." So you buy them this because it doesn't matter if they fuck this up, and they'll be just as happy with this. Yeah. It's one of those.
Because it's too late to be like a standalone figure because the Hot Toys one's already out. So it's like this isn't going to come out for another year, right? Yeah, so it's like too late to be anything. And yeah, it's just a weird release. It's like, what? To be anything other than a supplementary piece, like I don't know what this even is.
Yeah, agree.
So that was it. That was it for coming soon. So, and obviously, as we said earlier, we're now into Chinese New Year, so it's going to be really quiet the next couple of weeks in terms of no releases and obviously probably no announcements for stuff. But hold on to your hats because in a couple of weeks it's going to get crazy. I think we're going to see a wave of releases and hopefully some more exciting, maybe some more OT Star Wars POs will be good. So I mean, again, custom corner. We've sort of, you could talk us through a little bit about your technique. This is your work you've been doing on the Terminator.
Yes, this is kind of the blood work. This is right. Blood work is easy, right? Super easy. It's those 2 pots down in the corner there. That's clear Tamula red, and they're gloss black. Mix the 2 together, put it on the figure. That is, it's as easy as that. The good thing about that stuff is it clags up like actual blood does. So it makes doing stuff like this a lot easier. And then you just need a really fine brush to kind of pull down on it to kind of do the drips. Yeah. But yeah, as soon as I got it, I was like, yeah, I need to redo that blood work. So it took me about an evening to do it, and someone sent me theirs to do as well. So I'll be no doubt doing another one.
I think the biggest issue with when we saw the stock figure is they just go with red. They don't have that black element, which is when blood dries, when it clags up, it goes very dark, and that's what really gives it that depth when you mix the two together. And obviously, as you come to the edges, you go a bit more lighter, with the streaks and stuff. But the real gore bit needs to have that black in it to kind of give it that.
Yeah, it needs to be a mix of red and black, and it needs to be shiny, like
exactly.
And it needs to clump, which it doesn't do on the actual figure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think as you said, like a really well. I mean, we say easy mod. I know a lot of people don't kind of get into painting stuff, but I think it's one of the easier ways, to improve a figure. You're not repainting the whole head sculpt or anything, but you've got to be careful not to go too over the top. I think we've seen some pretty bad.
Less is more with gore. Yeah. Really, less is more. I mean, in this case, you can't go too mad, but you can't. He's fucked, right? He's bollocksed. Yeah. You can't really underplay it a bit. His whole leg's missing. He's got a big hole in his chest. You've just got to
it's already
not
OTT,
completely coat him.
But
exactly.
But kind of try and stick to the areas they've already painted and just embellish it rather than.
The one thing I would change, which you can't really change, is on the forehead. They did these just red lines. So you have to paint over them because you can't. If you're going to lose them, then you're going to have to repaint the rest of the head sculpt, which I wasn't in the mood to do. So I just put the red lines back in. But
I just caught it at the corner of my eye. His little peenie area. I don't like that. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Yeah,
it's very weird that.
It's just where the rotor's cut off.
Yeah, it does look weird. I'm sort of staring at it now.
It's staring back.
It is.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
So, Blood for the Blood God that Games Workshop does, it's fine, but it's too red. It's very good for fresh blood, but not anything that's been out. If you're going for fresh blood, fantastic. If you're going for anything that's oxidized a bit, then it's too red. But you can get over that by mixing some black in.
Yeah,
but like I said, with this, the real advantage is it clags, which is what blood does. So it makes life easier.
Yeah,
the longer you leave it, the better it gets.
Would have, when I've done blood, I've mixed the blood god with the black. But as you say, if you want that clagginess, this looks like the way to go. But just experiment.
Yeah, and the thing is, the figures is relatively cheap enough that if you cock it up, it's not the end of the world. You've not spent 14 grand on 4 Joker figures. You've only spent under £200 on one.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I've not had a great deal of 6 scale to work on. So I've got a few bits here. I've got a few head sculpts and stuff. So next time there should be a bit more 6 scale. But I've been doing a fair bit of Warhammer actually, and I've tried. So this was an experiment where I tried wet blending on a figure on a model, and trying to make it as neat as possible without relying on washes. So most of this is done without washes, and then I've tried to, so where it looks like on that arm where it looks like there's a shadow on the bottom, that shadow is always there because that's painted in.
Nice.
So it's having to wet blend the lighter and darker reds in, and then try and edge highlight just the bits that need it. I think the only bits that got a wash on were the metal, because that's just an easy way of doing it, and I didn't want to bother myself with non-metallic metals. I'm going to try that at some point.
Dude, look at that fucking head sculpt. How crisp is that? So if he's painting your head sculpt, fucking zoom in and make sure he gets every bit right. Yeah, exactly. You're doing yourself no justice there, mate. That is fantastic. That, and love it.
But yeah, this was one of the new Tech Marines, so I want another one because this was quite fun to paint. And normally I don't paint. I just build it so I can use it and then paint it. But I've started to sub-assemble things and paint stuff. So I've got like cork tops with bits of metal hanging off of it that I then drill out, and so I can paint it and get round into everything. But and then I end up putting the head on a little bit of blue tack so I can get to that as well. Yeah. But I'm really enjoying painting the miniatures at the moment.
Yeah, it's nice. I like where you're getting the little bit of the sort of reflection, the highlight on the lens there and everything. It's like it looks really nice. I also thought you added a bit of smoke, but it's
that's
the paint on your
my
finger.
finger. That is the paint.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks like the venting.
So that's
the pistol's venting.
Man,
that's
even
the one.
his fingers painted good.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about doing it with these is when I spray them and all the undercoat goes on it, is as I start to handle it, it all comes off on my hand. So by the end of it,
dry, mate.
Well, no, it's even after it's dried. It starts to come off. So I have to be really careful that then if I touch the figure, it doesn't. Yeah, that it doesn't transfer off.
Right.
I don't know jack shit about Warhammer, but I'll be damned if I don't consume a lot of Warhammer miniature content on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's some of the coolest shit to watch people paint and do. It's like this whole subculture of. Like,
absolutely, the detail people get is incredible.
I mean, people have invented painting techniques just doing miniatures, and like no one paints like miniature painters. It's the weirdest thing. It's so cool.
Going from 6 scale stuff and picking Warhammer up again, I thought, it's all right, I've been painting for years. It's like starting again. It's starting again. It's completely different because you're with 6 scale stuff, you're relying on the actual lighting. With this, you're trying to create the light. With the highlights and stuff like that, and the shadow and that.
Have you tried doing any of that? I forgot what they call it, but you know, where it looks like something's lit up and it's all like reflecting off of.
So a lot of that's
incredible.
So a lot of that's non-metallic metal and wet blending. It's insanely difficult to do. Like I want to try it because it does look really cool.
I want to see you.
But you don't. Me and my friends that do this, we've set each other like a challenge for the year. So my challenge was don't use so many washes and try non-metallic metal. So by the end of the year, I'm going to try and do some non-metallic metal.
Yeah.
It's insanely difficult because effectively you're taking, because that's how people used to paint portraits. That's how metal, when you go into like a museum and you see a big portrait painted of a battle and they're all wearing armor. Yeah. That's the same technique. You're just taking that and putting it into this. It's insanely difficult, but you wouldn't do it on miniatures that you're going to play the game with. They're more display pieces than anything else. But I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, I do a lot of drawing on my computer,
Hmm.
and I have my own character that I draw, and she wears armor. And doing lighting and reflections on armor is so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine doing it. Because, you know, on the computer, I could zoom in. I could rotate the canvas. I could do all kinds of stuff. I can't even imagine doing that in miniature scale. So, kudos to you. Do you do any, like, because a lot of the guys on YouTube will, like, do, like, sculpting with, like, green stuff? And, like, to do, like, capes or, like, custom bases? Like, do you get into any of that stuff?
No, I don't. I generally don't do any sculpting because I've not got the patience for that. I do kind of do some of the basing. Like I'll add stuff to the base, like bits of cork, or like if I've got any failed prints, I'll put those on a base. So I printed some Necron stuff for my mate, and there was a couple of fails, so they ended up being just part of my base, where they were like buried under snow and stuff. So I generally don't touch too much green stuff unless I absolutely have to fill a gap or something.
Yeah.
but I'm not brave enough to start sculpting at all. Like, I'm a
Especially
paint
that
man.
small,
Like,
yeah.
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 I did just sign up for
wizards that do that stuff.
yeah. Some of them are insane. Like, I've just signed up for TikTok. I signed up at the beginning of the week because there is so many miniature bits on there. Like, the videos on there, the stuff people have painted is absolutely mental.
Yeah.
We got Oilers Workshop in the chat. I don't know if you checked out his
mine.
stuff. He
There we
does
go.
hobbying and stuff too. Fantastic stuff. He's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Da Vinci, still the master.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, stuff's incredible what he was doing way back then. But yeah, so anyway, we were just going to talk quickly because, Dean, I played my first Warhammer game a couple of weeks
nice.
ago with one of my son's friends' dads. He used to do it when he was at school and everything, and he's been buying the miniatures and sort of collecting them just for fun. But now the us kids have got into it. I ended up buying a Custodes army, the Gold Boys, and we finally got a game. Did I enjoy it? Well, to start with, it took about 9 hours, and we only got to the end of round 3. So it was way too long. I think he spent. The problem is, right? So, I work full time. I didn't really do a lot of playing. I used Battle Scribe. I picked my 2,000 points, and I didn't really do anything else. He doesn't work. He spent every waking hour for like 8 weeks planning every minutiae of his Space Wolves army and looking at all of my characters and putting in very
what's good
specific
to kill 'em.
things. Yeah. And it just felt like it wasn't that much fun because every time I did something it was like, oh, but I've got this, and that's like -1 to your thing, and it was too arranged, if you like. And you'd probably say it was a draw. I mean, I took out basically my army needs to get in for melee, and he did everything to stop me doing that. He put
Were you just playing kill each other?
Just to, because I'm learning because I was trying to learn the rules of like combat and stuff. So and obviously my army is all about melee, and I just couldn't get close to him. He put rings of wolves around things, so they're like 5 points each. They just kill them, but it means I can't deep strike in. I can't, and a couple of times I did bits but I missed, and he had tanks.
Yeah.
With men in, and so that they could shoot me, but I couldn't do anything to them
Because they had firing decks and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I failed a charge by 1 inch. I'd have ripped his tank apart. But
Were you playing stratagems?
No, literally just.
So you could have you could have spent 1 CP and just re-rolled that.
Yeah. So it was just like fighting. So yeah, and then he, half of my army got isolated on one end of the board, and they never got anywhere near. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, do you want to play again?" He said, "Like, I'll play the same armies, and he's like, "Oh, and it won't take as long." I don't know. It's just taken the fire out of it a little bit for me, to be honest.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
It doesn't. So 10th edition isn't the edition to play where you're just going to kill each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's just a straight out, we're just going to shoot each other, and you're not using the core stratagems and anything like that, it's going to be a very boring game.
Yeah.
Because the idea, if you play the objectives, it doesn't really matter if his army is overpowered or he's put loads of stuff to counter you.
Yeah.
Because if you play for the objectives and play for points instead of killing him, you'll start to rack up more points than him because he'd be so obsessed with trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Whereas actually all you need to do is get to objectives, hold them, and then your secondary objectives that you have, you can swap them out each turn, or you can just play fixed. But it sounds like, and if I'm honest, if that's your first game, I probably just would have played something like a combat patrol, because you'll get that done in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Play that a couple of times to get used to the general how the game works, and then play your 2,000 points. Or even just say, right, we'll play a 1,000 point game. shrink it down a bit if it's taking that long to get to 3 rounds. But yeah, tenth's got a bit more finesse about it because it's not so much about having.
Well, yeah, we were playing 10th
things.
You
Yeah,
know,
but it's not so much about.
We were only playing half the game, and the idea was right in a way that it was for me to learn the core rules. But as you say, I think it very much made it just a bit of a slow, a bit.
Have a look. Download the app and have a look at your army custodies, and then in that you'll have the combat patrol.
Yeah.
Have a look, see if you got those models, and try and play a combat patrol because it's a slimmed down version of the game.
Yeah.
You still have your the main stratagems, but you also have it then only gives you a certain amount you can use for your army, and it's fixed. That's what because it's designed to be balanced.
Yeah.
I think you'd have way more fun with that, getting used to it, and then you can do a 2,000 point game. But there's certain things that you're meant to do that they don't really tell you in the rule book. Like you're meant to run each other through your list. You're meant to give each other your list
we did
before.
That, which took so fucking long because I didn't know that. I hadn't prepared that, and he'd written down fucking shit. And
because when I play someone, they give me their list maybe a couple of nights before, and I'll give them mine, and I'll go, actually, I need to change it because this isn't going to be, because it's no fun. Like if I play someone and I just trounce them, it's no fun. Like it's not fun for me. It's not fun for you.
No.
It's
and so he just went really shooty, so he could just hit me from miles away. And yeah, my guys are tough, and they survived a lot of it. But I just never really got to do what my army does because I didn't get.
You need to be hiding quite a bit.
I got into one melee and I wiped the floor with them, but And obviously, I got in proper shit with the missus because she thought I was going to be out for 3 hours. I was out for 10. And she's like, "You didn't?" And I said, "I didn't know it was going to take that long. I really didn't. I figured 4 or 5 hours, and it just took fucking ages. And obviously, it's always going to be an issue with my army because they're high points. So I'm only going to, I had probably a third of the models that he had. So obviously it's going to take him longer. But he was just taking forever. He was proper measuring stuff. I know that you'll probably say this is what you do, but he always managed to just be able to see me when I thought he wouldn't be able to. And I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
There's two types of players. There's ones that build these stupid meta lists, which are the whole idea. They're the type of people that keep buying a new army every time an army becomes more powerful. So they're always got the most powerful army,
chasing the meta, as they
exactly. Yeah, they're chasing it, and it sounds like he might have been a bit like that. Like he just wanted, but then if you're chasing the meta, you don't really go Space Wars, if I'm honest. But
no. He's stuck with that. He knows that they're not as good, but it was just he'd gone through and gone, right, I need these because they can do this. Like he kept hitting me with these cannon that was like shock, so it took 3 off my movement and my charge and so he was keeping me off him all the time, so I couldn't get in there. So it just wasn't much fun because I didn't really get to do a lot.
That's where if you have a look at your army stratagems and you look at the core stratagems, you've got stuff that can counter that you spend points, CP points to kind of get round. But it doesn't sound like it's a fun game. Like,
not
see,
really.
When I play, I don't win all that often, but I don't really play to win. I just play because it's fun and I like to have a good game.
I wasn't bothered, about. I didn't expect to win because he'd played, he'd played it a lot. But I don't know. It just felt like, we didn't really. I tried to go. I didn't even sneak around. I was like, right, I'm going to go for it, but I never got in to do it. So it's a bit of a shame, and I did get in quite a lot of shit for being out that long.
That can take the fun out of it as well.
He keeps saying, "Oh, when are we going to play again?" I'm like, probably in about a year. I might be able to swing another one by then.
Honestly, next time play a combat patrol, you'll probably be done in a couple of hours.
Absolutely, yeah. But so that's you do your Baldur's Gate, Dean, and that's a time sink in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to ask. I don't know if you guys have played D&D or Baldur's Gate. if it's
I really want
similar
Baldur's
to
Gate.
that.
Really want Baldur's Gate, but I'm just waiting for it to drop down a bit in price, and then I'll get it on Steam Deck.
I was really kind of like meh about it. And then we started playing it. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get the high. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
From someone who was playing D&D and really enjoyed it to then getting it like translation into a video game was so cool.
Yeah.
And being able to appreciate it in a new way, it's fantastic, dude. I cannot recommend Baldur's Gate enough. But I was gonna ask if Warhammer plays kind of like that, like you have X amount of movement. And
Yep.
once some attacks you can only do like once per turn or once a day or
Yeah.
So you move through phases. So you'll have like a movement phase, a shooting phase. Then you've got kind of like your charge phase and your combat phase. So you kind of move through these different phases, but there's certain things you can only do at certain times.
Yeah, there's 5 rounds on it, and there's some things you could do once per battle. So you choose when you do that. And
yeah, normally you have something that's so powerful, gives you such an advantage that they couldn't have you spamming it every single turn.
Yeah.
So you can do it once and that's it. You're done, kind of thing. Yeah. And the thing is, me and my mates, we're going to start playing because there's different ways you can play. So you can play a matched play, which is just you pick some missions and you play. We're going to play something called a Crusade game. So you end up having a campaign that stretches over many months.
Oh, cool.
And then what you do is you produce a roster and go, right, this is my army. So if I play Pete with this army and we're playing a campaign, you set a theme. And then if he wipes out a whole squad of my guys, well, any experience they would have racked up and any war gear and anything like that they would have got completely disappears because that squad has now been replaced with a brand spanking new squad.
Right.
And the longer you can keep squads alive through multiple games, the more they get. So you end up working all the way through. So you get more. The Crusade games are a little more D&D in, as there's a story to it, and there's kind of a campaign,
extra gear and stuff.
Yeah. It's not just we're playing a contained battle and then nothing really happens. So you can end up doing some really cool campaigns.
Yeah. I just love this week one. It says, I just flip the table over and go home. To be honest, mate, I felt like that a couple of times. I was like, I'm just going to go home. But I stuck it out. But yeah, it was a bit like I just left deflated, and I thought we didn't even make it out. We only did 3 rounds. I mean, for fuck's sake. But
see, 10th is all about combos and putting characters with squads and buffing the squad.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you can end up missing a trick massively.
I did do that, but to say a lot of them just never got anywhere.
Yeah, not
enough
got
to do anything.
anywhere.
No, so but well, we should try. Yeah, maybe we'll try and sort a game out at some point.
Yeah,
that guy knew it was your first game, right?
Yeah.
What a dick.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
normally you take it easy, like
Yeah.
It's almost like
So I would have made
he
like a
didn't
fun
want
list
you to
with.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I know. That's what
I'm
I
gonna
kind
make
of.
this as miserable as possible.
Yeah,
for
but it
Pete.
did feel like that, mate. So it's not
You
really
see-
a way to kind of get me into it, is it?
No,
Encourage
you
me
see,
to play.
I play Space Marines, and I've got quite a good list that I've built, and I know what all my Space Marines do. I've also got a Death Guard army that I played in 9th edition, and a Tyranid army behind me that I'm not too convinced on. But when my other mate is just getting into it, I was like, right, you be Space Marines, because I know what all that does, and I can run you through it.
Yeah.
I'll be Death Guard. I've not even played them in 10th yet. I don't really know what they do, and I just made a list that would be fun for him to play against.
Yeah.
Like, I think I beat him, but not by a lot, and I wasn't really trying. Like, it was just, but he had fun because it was more.
Yeah.
It was more about him getting to do stuff with. Particularly, he'd spent ages painting this land speeder up. It looked fantastic, and I was like, right, I'm not even going to fucking shoot at that, because if I blow that up turn 1, that's going to be like a kick in the bollocks. So I was like, no,
crying, yeah, but like,
yeah, I hate it when something I spent ages painting doesn't even make it one turn.
well,
I'm
this
like,
is also like I put so much effort into the bikes.
Yeah.
These 4 bikes, and he put all his effort into destroying them in the first round. They never got anywhere because he was so scared because they had this move where if they could fly over a unit, they could wipe them all out.
They take
like,
the unit takes more wounds or something.
Yeah. So he just killed them out, and they never got. And I was just like, that's really pissed me off, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Don't worry, you'll play against good people as well. Like, because it's more for me. It's more about like having fun and playing it than it is actually about who wins.
That was
so
what it would
like,
be. But when I saw like this listed written of like, and he'd written these little cards out that he was putting next to his units and stuff, and like, oh yeah, they've got that. It reminds me of that. And then he'd put it next to my figure when he'd cast it on me. Like, I was like, oh, fuck off.
Sometimes tokens and stuff are quite handy because the amount of stuff that you can.
But he didn't need to do that
you guys.
to me the first go because he knew that I was learning the ropes, and it was just
that's like some try hard shit. Like,
that's like competitive dad, isn't it? Yeah, come and try this sport, and I'm going to just fucking destroy you.
Yeah,
and that's how you learn.
But that's him building his lists. Like he's built his list to absolutely counter yours. Yeah. Which if you're playing competitively, you would do that.
Oh, I know that.
You would, but you would both go into it knowing it's a competitive list. You wouldn't go in and go, all right, it's Pete's first go. I'm going to crush him. You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't do it. Yeah. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't do it.
No.
It's I
enjoyed the curry that we had, so it wasn't all bad.
That's always good. Yeah. That's always handy. Every cloud and all that.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah. So, that was it. That's a good show. Let's run through these beautiful angels that support the network. We've got Ian Seaby, Rennie Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson. He even has his own sticker, this one, which we'll be getting to. Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Staminator, Joel Brader, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Bad Fish, Toy Cartel, Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Corrett, Dig Fern, Susan Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick De Gregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alid Morgan, Takar Wah, Derek Bezidzinski, Aris Portillo, Alvin J, Arelis Delgado, Jazz Cower, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. It's difficult doing that, not having done that for 4 weeks, because you kind of get that, like you do it every week, Dean, and but even every fortnight, you kind of get that, the patter, you get the kind of rhythm going. And it's a bit too long. So apologies for that.
Every time I do it, my dog knows that I'm about to get off the computer, and he starts going crazy.
Well, he knows you're about to.
By the time I get to King Louis, he's jumping on.
That's brilliant.
Leg.
I love it.
And if I don't give him attention, he'll start whimpering, and some people are like, "What's that noise?"
It's amazing what they pick up on. Mine would be like when I switch my mouse off or my monitor off, that click. Yeah. He's like, right, he's done. Let's go crazy.
Whenever I start taking my headphones off, oh my god, dude, my dog is like, it's time to do something.
They're mental, aren't they? Mental. If you'd like to become a Patreon, you've got the hot seat at $5 a month, gets you digital stickers and access to Ox After Dark Patreon chat and the weekly shout out on the show. Sweet Angel, $7.50 a month, gets you a physical sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to the replays. Stickers we sent out every other month. We've got the Certified Crispy at $15 a month, gets you the Certified Crispy certificate and all the benefits of the previous tier. And the top tier, the What a Guy, it gets you the exclusive Pog Deluxe set on first page. It doubles all the stickers we send, so cheap way of gifting for birthday and Christmas for your friends and family. And if you're international, then postage above $5 will be charged at cost. So the January-February Patreon benefits, got a couple of cool ones here. We've got the Mark Pearson Collector of the Year sticker. absolute legend, Mr. Pearson. Love to meet him one day. Maybe one Oxcon 27. Yeah, I mean, I'm retired and my kid's grown up. Maybe I'll meet up with these beautiful people. But and then you got the Mind Flayer web, which is your current role playing campaign, Dean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we called it the Mind Flayers web, but
yeah, it's a cool design. I like it.
Yeah, Zach used some AI to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that good at art. It's fucking computer.
But you've done some.
Been doing it for
you've done some great work
years.
for Ben though. I do love the
his little nuts.
the nut characters. Yeah, they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're cool. But yeah, so they're the next lot of stickers. You can also become a YouTube channel member. We've got Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hanson, Big Old Firm, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotchka, Gotham Cenobites, Justin Sports Card, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Litoris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 166 Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S-Beam, Sam Gist, Scarnlord, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunnyvale Russ, and the Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. Thank you all very much. If you want to become a YouTube channel member, if you're already a Patreon, it'll cost you 99 cents a month. You realise we get ripped off in the UK. That would be 99 pence. So, we have to pay more even for that, which sucks.
We get absolutely owned at every opportunity.
We do. So, like, Ben's one is $1.99, but I have to pay £1.99. So, yeah.
What's that? What is that? What's the conversion on that?
It's about 1.3 maybe at the moment. So, I'm paying about 30% more to fucking YouTube.
God damn.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't be asked to convert it. They just went, just change it from $1.
It's not too late to throw your own tea party, guys.
It's becoming more and more tempting, to be honest. But,
yeah.
We're
being ruled by a multi-millionaire now who just has got no concept about how people are struggling financially, and not that any of them really do, but he's proper minted. So that gets you loyalty badges, emojis, and shout-outs on the show. If you're not a Patreon, you can still become a YouTube channel member. You can join the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 or £2.99 in the UK, I assume. Gets you the same perks and member shout-outs on the show. If you also want to support the network, you can buy some merch. Go to TeePublic. We've got loads of different logos and things from the different shows and funny things from the past. T-shirts, mouse mats, whatever you want. So go and have a look on there. And Ian, I'll let you take us through. I assume this is the latest slide. I know it's changed a lot recently.
Pretty sure that's that.
Yeah, it's got the Mind Flayers. That's the newest logo, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's
cool. So this is us. This is the network. This is the collection of reprobates and scoundrels that populate our network. So look, let's start with the best. OFAC, us, the jewel in the crown. Really the reason why the network stays together, because without us it would just all fall to shit. We got question of the week, which is a different question every single week. This week's question was, why do kamikaze pilots wear crash helmets? We don't know. We're not sure. We couldn't figure it out. No idea. Bricks and brews.
God. Holy
yeah.
shit.
What's the point? We got Bricks and Brews, which is where effectively Zach gets as drunk as he can and puts as many Lego bricks up his bum as humanly possible. Yeah. I think he's up to 10 sideways. It's quite impressive. We've got After Dark, which is only legally allowed to be watched in the dark. If you watch in the daylight, you will be shot. Not my rules, that's other people's. Collecting Weekly.
We just told people to pay for Patreon so they can watch it, on the replay, and now you can say they're going to kill them.
In daylight hours. Daylight hours.
Oh, so
We
you
did
can
that.
rewatch
That's
it,
the
but
stipulation.
you have to wait for it to be dark again. Okay, fair enough.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
If you're
They're
at
not my
work-
rules.
If you're at work, pull the blinds down, turn all the lights off, and that's
Yep.
fine. You can watch it there.
Hide under your desk and watch it. That, you know.
Yeah.
We all have to make sacrifices, Pete. That's just what they've got to do.
All right, fair enough.
We've got the mothership collecting weekly live. As the title suggests, it is live and it is weekly. So that's what we do there. We've got small talk, which is the itty bitty things in life, the tiny teeny weeny. How
Love that
they,
show.
I
That's
say
my
it every
favourite
week. I love it. How they honestly A mark, A plus for effort. Like how they manage to pump it out every other week.
Yeah, there's
The
a
amount
little
of
bit,
stuff that comes out in that scale is absolutely fucking insane.
There's a little bit too much Power Rangers, but apart from that, I love it.
Yep, that is true. There is quite a lot of Power Rangers, but
Not enough
can't
Sonic,
complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if I was running the show, it'd be Sonic. So.
Yeah,
It would all be
it's
Sonic.
Yeah.
So we've got Ox Plays, which I believe last time I watched it, it was all that GTA mod where they pretend to be police. Lots of random stops and beatings. That's probably
Yeah.
more on their character than yours for watching it and laughing, but I'm not going to judge. We've got the Mind Flayer web. The Mind Flayer's web. That's it. I have been paying attention. That's Baldur's Gate for everyone else. Love it. Well worth watching. I do like a bit of D&D, and I do mean Dungeons and Dragons, not dicks. But that is also good. But very, very good. The network of a whole. Now, if I haven't sold you on any of the shows, that's probably more a reflection on you than me. But
I love it. Yeah, there's something
But
for everyone there. I mean, the way
it's
you
something
described
for
it, mate,
everyone.
I mean,
it's a sprinkling of chaos. Like that's the way I like to sell our network. It's us.
Yeah.
It's great. In fact, Anton's got the right idea. He watches After Dark in the fetal position under his work desk.
just rocking,
That's how you do it.
dribbling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So yeah, that's us. That is
Yeah.
us. That is another show done. Tick it off the list.
Yeah,
we're done.
Thanks for joining us, Dean. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah, thanks for
It has
having
Thanks
been
to everyone in
fun.
the chat. Everyone's been
Sounds
watching
right.
live. Some great comments and stuff in there. It was great to have you here. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
And
we will.
so we'll be back. We'll be back in a month, and then hopefully things will start picking up by then. And,
If it picks up before then we'll see what we feel like.
yeah,
eh?
exactly.
Isn't
We're monitoring
Let's not push
it.
the boat out too much, but yeah.
No, we're monitoring it
for
on
it.
a weekly basis. But yeah, we'll probably see you in a month, if not before.
Enjoy, everyone.
Yeah,
We'll see you all
cheers,
later.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.